Done in me, God. Whatever you want, let it be done in me. Yeah. Let it be done in me. 'Cause now I'm born. Now I am born again. And your spirit dwells in me. Let your will be done. Let your will be done. Let it be done.
Man, oh man, oh man, I love that. I tell you what, we are blessed on tonight to be on the GMAP Broadcast Network, GMAP1.com. I'm excited. I'm always excited, but I'm excited exclusively on tonight for this awesome young woman that is about to bless us with her presence here on the GMAP Broadcast Network. A variety of publications has been disseminated throughout people around the world. And of course, tonight she is going to bless us with her presence. To tell us a little bit about it, I just want to say welcome to the GMAP Broadcast Network. And I tell you, all she goes by is Precious, so I can't call her anything other than Precious. Precious, how are you?
Hello, how are you?
Oh my goodness, if you have to ask me tonight, I must be slipping because I am ecstatic. I am excited. I am happy. I am healthy. I am safe. I kid you not. I am just so blessed on tonight. And I'm grateful to have you here with us on tonight. Do me a favor, Precious. Why don't you simply introduce yourself? Tell us who you are. Tell us where you're from.
Well, I'm Precious Swain Peaks. I'm originally from Los Angeles, California, currently enjoying sunny Florida, and that's me.
Wow, sunny. You know what? I can only imagine. Before we continue, I just want to say welcome to all of our viewers and listeners from our Chicago radio station. And of course, Milwaukee has decided they want to chime in on tonight, WGLB in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And of course, all of our viewers and listeners here on the GMAP Broadcast Network platform. You know, Precious, I have been blessed by your presence of a variety of publications that has been written by you. And I really, you know what, I can't explain it or present it to people the way you would. Why don't you just first and foremost tell us a little bit about how all of this began? How did you begin in the publication arena to write all these wonderful books?
Well, it was kind of by surprise. I heard in my spirit that I needed to tell my story, and I was reluctant to tell my story. But I've always written. I've written since I was a child. I always wrote short stories and entered essay contests and short story contests and things of that nature. But as an adult, the things we have going on in adulthood kind of keeps us from following our childhood dreams. So I started my first book series was an erotica series. It was an act of rebellion after my divorce to prove that I could write. And so then I stopped because I had proven I could do it. I had marked it off the list. But I still heard in my spirit that's not why I gave you the gift. I need you to tell your story. So over time and hard headedness, I ended up in a situation where I had no other choice but to write because I had nothing else to do. I was sick, I was bedridden, and there was nothing else for me to do. So I took that time and wrote and self-published the first book in the Who Says a Princess Can't Come from the Ghetto series.
Wow. Well, you know, I know for a fact that you have been blessed while on this journey that God has placed you on. But I kid you not, I know that there's so much more yet to come. But I guess I'm specifically interested in a few of the publications that I have been blessed with because, you know, some of the titles and some of the covers and the publications that I have witnessed has some very interesting concepts. Can you do me a favor on tonight? I just first and foremost want you to address our viewers and listeners with the titles of each publication that you have been able to write up to this point and produce and provide to our viewers around the world. And then I kind of want you to break down a general explanation of each publication. How can people get a better understanding of the publications that you have written?
Okay. Well, the first book in the series is I Had to Let Go. It is about my divorce from my second husband, and it speaks about overcoming the self-esteem and depression and other issues that come along with being in a relationship where there's domestic violence and that there's infidelity. And that was, of course, the first one in the series. The second one is Deceptions of a Dope Boy. And Deceptions of a Dope Boy speaks about how women in certain areas of life dress up, go out to the club, the bar, the church to meet men for financial gain, not necessarily for love or a relationship, but because a bill is due. And in the process, they present themselves in a way that's a lie. The fake hair, the fake nails, the butt lifter, the water bra, because they're on a mission. But then, after they meet the man and he turns out to not be what they expected, they get angry, they blast him, they speak down on him. Um, but how can you expect a relationship built on truth when you told the first lie in the relationship? Telling a lie doesn't always consist of speaking. We can present a whole lie. Then book three is He Was There All the Time. He Was There All the Time speaks about my 5 year time of being single and waiting for a husband. Because what I learned in the writing of book one and two was that you can't advertise and wait. You got to either wait and allow the creator to send you what's for you, or you advertise and then you get whatever comes with your advertisement. And so during the time, it speaks about during the time of waiting, the different stages you go through, the loneliness, the depression, the sexual urges. It's very transparent. But then the twist in it is the man that I'm married to now, I was friends with for 8 years. Never in my mind did I imagine that we would be married. Sometimes I wasn't even sure if we liked each other as people, let alone on that other level. And it just kind of talks about the different things that both of us went through during that time frame. That when you now sit back and look back, you see that the Father was preparing us for one another. A Victim No More is the fourth book in the series. It speaks very transparently about domestic violence. It tells true accounts of different experiences that I went through with domestic violence. And it has resources from all 50 states where people can get help, find shelters, find financial assistance. And it talks about how sometimes women that fight a lot in life or have grown up in a situation where fighting is what you do to survive, we get into relationships, and when we're hit, because we hit back, we don't think we've been abused. We consider ourselves having had a fight, when in all reality, no one should hit, talk bad to, no one should treat you less than who you are. And it talks about the different phases of abuse, because physical abuse is only one. People are mentally abused, verbally abused, and financially abused. So it talks about that. Right now, in the work, I have True Lies, which is the one that has the coming soon over it. It should be ready by about January, February. Um, and it is going to really break down some lies that we tell and some lies that we're told that sound oh so true, but really, when you break it down, it's not. And so that's all I'll say about that one. I'll be putting it up for pre-order probably in December. I've had the opportunity to co-author uh, 4 books this year. One, Finding Joy in the Journey. Um, is myself and 89 other authors. It made it to international bestseller, and it talks about different ways of overcoming situations with death and grief. I was able to co-author in Power of an Overcomer. That is myself and 19 other authors. And it just talks about exactly what it says: the power of overcoming, the power of walking in the purpose of being an overcomer and not letting things stop you. Um, the other one is She is the Ish. And the subtitle on that one is Survivor to Conqueror, and it is a group of, I want to say, 10 of us speaking about going from being just a survivor to a true conqueror over the things that had us bound. And the fourth one should come out mid October, and it's about being an female entrepreneur.
Wow. Well, I tell you, I am. You know what? I'm amazed at your determination and dedication, Precious, of your book writing skills, first of all, but yet I want to focus more on you reaching out to the people in a way of ways that they can understand what you've just explained to us a few moments ago. People are really able to relate to things like that, and I believe in my spirit they need to. Now, of course, if you don't know, Precious is one of our featured authors and book writers here on the GMAP Broadcast Network. You can stop by gmap1.com. That's GMAP, the number one.com. Visit our bookstore. And of course, you will be blessed by seeing copies of her publication. You can click on the publications. It will take you directly to where you need to go to find out more intimately how you can purchase these books and of course add them to your archives and or your bookstore. Now, I know there's plenty of people that may be addressing you, if not already, about what's next for Precious. You've written these books, you have your business going, you've elevated to a level beyond belief to some. But if someone were to say, you know, Precious, I really appreciate what you're doing. I love your spirit. I love how you reach out and you present your publications and things of that nature to the people around the world. But if someone were to say, what's next? What would your response be?
To be very honest, I would really like to travel and speak. I enjoy having the ability to deal directly with people. So before COVID, of course, I was doing quite a few women's conferences. And during COVID, I was invited to do a few interviews that they're using now for master classes on trauma and surviving and things of that nature. But I like the hands-on because when you're with someone and you're able to talk to them, and after it, they're able to pull you to the side and ask you personal, direct questions, and you can see it light up like, I understand and I can do it too. Because it's nothing really that I personally did other than have faith. I'm gonna be very honest with you. Um, other than have faith that my father would bring me through all of it. And it took a while. I went through different phases in life. So the next thing I'd like to do is one, I would love to start another talk show because the first one, it just, me and the producer just couldn't come to an agreement. And so we had to cut mid season. And I'd like to get back into traveling and speaking.
Wow. I heard talk show and my ears lit up. So, I am just excited to hear you say that. And I know that you have had a tremendous support system from your husband. He has been there every step of the way and supported you and stood by your side, thick and thin, good and bad, maybe even right and wrong. But who are some of the other individuals that you had the opportunity to work with during this process?
My biggest team is my children. My children are my biggest team. Um, Even today. Last minute, I get off work, I have an hour to get ready, and my daughter comes and does my makeup. They are truly, truly, truly who I need to shake my pom poms for. But I've dealt with several ministers that have been very supportive in allowing me, even though with my transparency, some traditional church kind of does this, to invite me in and have me to speak openly at their conferences. Um, Risha Badami right now has a master class going on in which she gave me the opportunity to share my story in one of the classes to help other people to be able to come out of trauma. Um, Shael had a master class about a month ago on and let me speak. She had saw my blog on Men Hurt Too and allowed me to come speak on that topic in her master class. And Diana Min invited me to come speak in one of her master classes. So I'm very thankful for the opportunity at any time that I can share and help someone because that's really what our purpose is.
I agree wholeheartedly, and I know that there's some young authors out there that may be listening in, or may even, in fact, see the recording of this conversation. If there are, and when they are, what sort of advice would you have for them as they may be preparing to even release their first publication or dive into writing their own book? What sort of advice could you give them to hopefully encourage them to stay on track to do and follow their dreams?
The first thing I'll say is just do it. Don't allow fear to keep you in the box. Don't allow what you think other people may think or say about you to keep you in the box. Write, write and release, write and release. And don't let money stop you either. Because I will say openly, my first book I wrote, and I did not have a dime. I wrote it, I did my own cover, I released it, and I just put it out there and let it go. And because I just put it out there and let it go in faith, did the numbers it needed to do for me to be able to go back, pull it back down, get it re edited, get the cover redone professionally, and re release. But you have to start somewhere. You have
That's
to
right.
start somewhere.
I mean, I completely agree with you. Follow your dreams. Don't let anybody, no, don't let people, what they think, what they do, what they feel, what they say, stop you from doing what you have truly been blessed to do. A lot of people say, hey, I've been called to write, I've been called to speak, I've been called. Well, what's the difference in being called and actually knowing that you have stepped into your calling? You have to be the call. You can't just accept the fact that you've been called, but you really have to be the call. And a lot of times we hold ourselves back based on our own fear. During this process for you, was there any fear involved in what God has blessed you with at this point?
Of course, of course. The first thing was from where I am in life now and where I live now, a lot of people don't know who I was and what I had gone through. So the first thing I was afraid of is when they hear this story, they're going to turn their nose up. They're not going to want to do business with me. They're not going to want to be bothered with me. People were going to look at me funny. And then I began to realize that all that I had gone through was not was for this purpose. I went through all of that, the pain, the suffering, the embarrassment, the whatever, to get to here. And it wasn't about my popularity. It was about my purpose. Because regardless if people liked it or not, if people ever spoke to me again or not, there was someone who needed to hear that story to get healing. So I had to look past the fear and embrace. For a long time, to be honest, I ran from my calling. People would see me in the street and say, "Oh, I can see that you're supposed to." Hold on, not me. Not doing that. And our Father is so funny. what he would do, since I thought I was really doing something and getting away from the calling, is he would send people to where I was with the craziest questions that you'd be like, what? What made you just ask me this? In the grocery store, complete strangers just walk up and start telling you their story, and you're like, what? Who are you? But you answer. Something compels you to just answer and talk them through anyway. So people wait for other people to acknowledge them or ordain them or say it's okay, when really, when you're truly called and this is truly what you're supposed to do, whether anybody acknowledges it or not, he's going to put you in a position where you walk into it and you do it anyway.
Right, you're absolutely right, and I am a witness to that. And of course, I am just so grateful to have you here on the GMAP Broadcast Network. Number one, as a guest. Number two, as a featured author with their awesome books. And of course, I'm looking forward to the program. I kid you not, because I am going to open the doors and roll out the red carpet. As a matter of fact, I'm going to rip the door off the hinges. So when you make the decision to walk through, there won't be a door to walk in. It'll be wide open for you to just make your way. I am grateful for you. Of course, we want to know how we will be able to connect with you. How is it that you can be reached? How can the books be purchased? Is there a website, email, phone number, manager? Is there social media? Instruct or inform our viewers and listeners on today how they can connect with Precious and how they can purchase any and or all of your publications.
Well, to connect with me, I'm on all social media. So on Facebook and on Instagram, I have author pages where I'm author Precious Swain. But I also have Precious Swain pages, which are my personal pages that I will definitely answer on. On Twitter, I'm Precious. It's IMPRECIOUS. And I am on LinkedIn as Precious Peaks. I don't carry my maiden name any longer on LinkedIn. It's just my married name. I do have a website, which is authorpreciouswain.com. And I have a ministry website for women who just want to reach out and talk about their situation in a confidential manner, which is New Vision Ministries of FL.org. And I answer all messages. My email address is preciouswain@gmail.com. Um, my books are available on the GMAP bookstore. They're available on Kindle, Nook, Google Play, Amazon, and I do have, like I said, a website, which is authorpreciouswain.com. For those who are not extremely sensitive, I have a blog, which is at preciouswain.com. So feel free to reach out. Like I said, I answer all messages, I answer all emails. And for those who really want to get in touch and really have an issue that they would like assistance with, I could be reached by text at area code 786-361-8235.
Wow. Well, Precious, I'm going to draw a scenario for you, and I want you to respond to it appropriately. I'm going to put together what I call my Megatorium. Now, my Megatorium is going to consist of the T.D. Jakes Auditorium and the T.D. Jakes Potter's House and the Joel Osteen Auditorium put together. In my Megatorium, there's 50,000 seats. In my Megatorium, there's 50,000 seats occupied by troubling young ladies. They have been through the storm. They have suffered some trying times. They've been neglected, maybe beaten, maybe raped, maybe abused. They have been misunderstood. Megatorium, 50,000 seats occupied by troubling young ladies. Had the honor, the privilege, and the blessing of introducing my wife to the podium because I've learned over the years that I'm not crazy and I do not like sleeping on my couch. So with that being said, She had the honor of introducing Precious to the podium. Our question to you, the first and last question, would be, what would you say to them?
Oh, I have a lot that I would say to them. But the very first thing is you can't love anybody before you love you. So the only thing that comes before us as people is our Father. Our Father is always the head. But you can't love a husband, a boyfriend, a girlfriend, a child, anything until you love you. So no matter what you've been through, no matter what pain you carry, no matter what other people have done to you, you have to take time, step back. It's okay to be alone sometimes and just allow yourself to heal and find love and forgiveness for you again. Because what I've learned is that when we go through things, especially as children, molestation, abuse, etc., we wonder what we did wrong. We identify with us being the reason that this happened to us. We sometimes don't even acknowledge the perpetrator. We're so busy focused on blaming ourselves. So we have to find the ability to forgive and love ourselves. Step two, we have to forgive the perpetrator. We have to forgive the molester, the person who committed the incest, the raper, the person who abused us, the husband that cheated on us. We have to forgive the children that bullied us. We have to forgive them because until we forgive them, they still hold power. And so some people may think, well, how do they hold power? They hold power in our mind. Because as long as we continue to allow the anger and the pain to live there, we will carry ourselves and act a certain way and may never realize the things that we're doing in response to the anger and pain we hold inside that make us hurt other people, that make us hurt ourselves, that make us hurt our children. So, if given the opportunity and had a limited time space, I would definitely encourage build a relationship with your father. Build a relationship because as you build a relationship and grow, you will begin to see that in his creation of you, there is really no flaw. He loves us in our imperfection and he will heal us if we let him. Forgive yourself and love yourself, no matter what anybody else thinks, no matter what your pockets are saying, no matter what your bank account is saying, because all of those are material things. Find that love for you and forgive. Forgive. I didn't say forget. Never forget what you went through or you'll end up back in it. But forgive and let it go. Allow yourself to have peace. And the last thing is live your dreams. You're not damaged goods. No matter what you may think. Yeah, you may have been molested, you may have been raped, you may have been beat. You're not damaged goods. Because each day we get up renewed if we allow ourselves to be. We'll get up healed if we allow ourselves to be. So look at it, learn from it, grow from it, make different choices because of it, and live.
Wow. That would encourage 50,000 young ladies. And we hope and pray that they will embrace what you have shared with them and begin to live their dream. We thank God for you on tonight. I know that our viewer, listeners in Chicago and Milwaukee has to go. And we thank God for them on tonight for chiming into this brief conversation that we had with this awesome author, Precious. We want to remind you, stop by the GMAP Broadcast Network. We're located at gmap1.com. Be on the lookout. That program that she had the chance to speak about is coming soon to a network near you. We look forward to some outstanding things that God has prepared for you in the future. Precious, I can't thank you enough for joining us on today. We want to continue to ask you to be blessed and be a blessing to God's people as you have been over the years. We thank God for you. We hope and pray that you'll continue to live your dream. God bless you. We love you. And we look forward to hearing from you again very, very soon. Okay?
Thank you so very much, and may the hand of God be upon each of you. Thank you.
And your spirit dwells in me. Let your will be done. Let your will be done. Let it be done. I want your will to be done in me, God. Whatever you want, let it be done in me. Yeah. Let your will be done. Let it be done in me. 'Cause now I'm born. Now I am born again. And your spirit dwells.